I feel I got to a point, I guess, where I felt tons of constriction.
Like?
Just like I felt like I accelerated to a point where I got to a point where I looked back and I just noticed that everyone, like you're in the kindergarten, like you were in the kindergarten class and you just moved directly towards your trying to complete your dissertation and PhD course, like you're a 3-year-old just trying to, and you're just looking at everybody who's sort of in their experience, they're enjoying their experience, and you can come down and experience, but like the conversations that you sort of have, you want to take it to a level in which you can be okay. When you take it there, you're not sort of overwhelmed by what it is that you experience, because I guess once you get to that stage and your vibration aligns with what it is that you're discussing, and you start seeing animals just start appearing and just giving you signs, sort of dancing in front of you, and like people in your mind, you have I guess your imagination is sort of, I guess you have your imagination, your thought and your past thoughts, and you can take your thought to any different direction and look at and imagine what people are doing. You can imagine that they're doing something positive, or you can imagine that they're doing something negative. Like I went through the whole period of time trying to look at things differently. Like I would look at the people who go to Afghanistan, people would tell me, I guess they're killing people over in Afghanistan. In my mind, I've never been to Afghanistan. The images that I can create in my imagination is that they're over in Afghanistan shooting water guns at each other, and they're inviting all our military men to come over there and just play along with them. Like that's just my mind. And even if I express that to someone, people will be like, "Okay, where are you?" Like it's just. Or like the Twin Towers, like when the Twin Towers went down, I know it's a real thing, but I know I was not present at the site. And when I get there, I know that if I'm looking at it like it may have never happened, like I'd be in on a rude awakening when I arrived there, and it was something that really occurred. For me to change my thought to make something look positive, like I'm entertained by it, but I can see the grief in people's face who believe that such a thing, such a devastation really occurred. And I understand that it really occurred, but I'm sort of stuck in this dualistic perspective in which it really occurred. I know it did, but the possibility that it could have been a fun experience for whoever participated in it.
You've done the best job of queuing us up for a powerful motion forward that has happened in a while, and the place that we want to go, and we'll go there first, and then we'll go back and show you how you've queued us up for this, is because there are so many dynamics of life and so many perspectives of life and so many people that are feeling different ways about different things. In the early days, Esther would say to us, "But Abraham, it's true," and we would say, "Yes, that is a true thing," but we wouldn't let something being true or something that happened be the criteria that we would use about whether we would think about it or look at it or not. Because there are things that are true that align you with source energy, and there are things that are true that don't align you with source energy. And if being aligned with source energy is your dominant intent, then it helps you to sift and sort through the things that you are contemplating in order to make your choices. We're not trying to guide your thoughts. We're trying to enhance your thoughts. We're not trying to direct your thoughts. We're trying to join you in a momentum that will yield to you not just an outcome that you are seeking, but a path that is joyful on the way to ever unfolding outcomes. So sometimes people say, "Well, Abraham, it sounds like you just want us to put our head in the sand and deny that the Twin Towers came down or deny that there's a war going on." And we say, we are not asking you to be in denial of anything. In fact, you can't be, because the very thing that you are denying then becomes active in your vibration. We're asking you to be an ignorer of any subject or any conversation or any vibration that you do not wish to actively participate in. So what that does is it brings you to a place of deciding for yourself, how much resistance does my motion, I want motion forward, how much resistance am I willing to endure in my motion forward? There are a lot of people that truly believe that nothing can be accomplished without struggle and sacrifice and pain. In fact, more people believe that than are understanding the path of least resistance and the way Source dovetails with things. So here you are, listening to what we say and others, feeling resonance with it, feeling the clarity of the Source within you, who is helping you every day more and more to understand the power of who you are and the unlimitedness of that which you are. But you are living as a human in a real world that is seemingly demanding quite a bit of your attention. You are trying to sort all of that out. It's part of what we were feeling from you earlier in the day when we were saying to you, we don't want to take you into this woo-woo stuff, and we don't want to get you so non-physically focused that you're not alive in this body, living in this world in the way that you mean to be. In other words, you're not non-physically focused right now. You're physically focused with non-physical flowing through you. So we don't want to take you into some weirdness that seems separate from reality. We just want you to guide reality with the power with which you have to guide it, you see. We want you to no longer deprive yourself of your true power and clarity and ability and therefore manifestations, while you are in a sort of objective way trying to weigh the pros and the cons and the pluses and the minuses in an effort to understand somebody who's living a life you don't even want to live. It's so interesting to watch so many of you. You look up into this plethora, this buffet of possible life choices, and you feel compelled to study them all, to feel them all, to know them all, in order to choose something that maybe is better for you, never understanding that in your picking around through the bones of everything that everybody's doing, you're just watering down your vitality and disallowing yourself of the fullness of who you are. So we would like to pronounce to you, if we had a sword, we would knight you with it. The same thing that we have pronounced Esther, and she has acknowledged it herself, you have become a vibrational snob.
Yeah.
And there isn't anything that we would rather say to you than that, because there are a lot of conversations that you don't want to have anymore. There are a lot of things that people still believe that don't serve you anymore. There are a lot of life experiences that you don't want to live anymore. But that doesn't mean that there aren't people in kindergarten that you wouldn't enjoy evoking a conversation from them on your level. And
I love kids. I love to share with them what I like.
We know you do. But in the analogy that you were offering, you were talking about how you've moved on to different subjects, into bigger things, into bigger knowing. And yes, you have. But we want you to understand that when you hang out on this high-flying disc, as you so often do, and you don't worry about it and you don't struggle to do it, you just acknowledge when you're there and get there as often as you can, what you begin to notice is that you have more in harmony with everyone that you interact with, and that law of attraction will not bring anyone to you who's not ready to be up to speed with who you are. Law of attraction and this powerful, this permeation of well-being that is surrounding you at all times is coming into your experience through the path of least resistance that you have provided. And we just want to express to you in a way right here, right now, because we can feel you knowing so much of this. We want you just for a little while to put 100% of your attention, your effort attention, upon just doing everything that you can to soothe that resistance, to open that resistance in order to discover what Source has lined up for you. You see, you're not going to get there as you try to relate to anybody else, because all that does is mess up your vibration. You're not going to get there by remembering where you've been, or by comparing where you are to where you were, or where you are to where anyone else is. In other words, as you make your singular intention just for a little while to understand your relationship between you and how you feel right now and the Source within you, You are, we started to say perched to understand your power, but that's not an accurate statement because in many cases you're already feeling it. We just don't want you to back away from it. We want you to move toward it.
What if it feels like it's too much power?
If it feels like it's too much power, you've got resistance. You've introduced resistance that's making you feel the friction of that. So back away from the thought in that moment. Just back away. Just relax. Say to yourself something like, going too fast, just need to chill here, don't need to make this happen, just need to allow it to happen. My job's to open the pathway, the clarity will flow and I'll know what to do and I'll follow the inspiration. And you're really good at that.